Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group. Hope you guys are having an amazing day today. But I want to talk a little bit about data and CRMs. One of the biggest mistakes that I've seen over my years, whether it's at an event or whether it's one of my coaching clients, or just like in general, talking to business owners, is like their lack of understanding the importance of collecting data and creating a client base. It's fucking massive, you guys. So this is going to be a short podcast, but I'm going to get to the point really quickly. It literally, data is more valuable than oil. So you remember like the Beverly Hillbillies, up shooting some crude up from the ground, come on, bowling crude, da-da, millionaires, right? That's literally what's happening today with people that understand how valuable creating a list and having data points on their ideal clients. A lot of you guys probably have been freaked out by some of the social media some of the social media documentaries and stuff like that that's been appearing lately. I want to say that there was one on Netflix, and it's so funny. Like, a friend of mine hit me up, and I mean, this is like another marketer friend of mine. He hit me up and he was like, "Man, have you seen so-and-so documentary?" And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "Isn't that crazy?" And I'm like, "Dude, where the fuck have you been, man?" And he kind of like snapped out of it for a second. He's like, "Oh yeah." And I'm like, dude, we have like literally what they're talking about in these documentaries as marketers. We have known this shit for a long time. We know that Facebook has like 6,000, it used to be 3,000, but the latest probably over exaggerated number that I heard was 6,000 data points on everybody. Like, they literally know whether you fucking like potato chips or Funyuns, or, if you like cats or dogs. They know a lot of shit about everybody, and they base that, essentially, they track everything that you do. So if you're tracked by cookies whenever you leave the website, and which is data created by Facebook pixels. Almost every website has a Facebook pixel on it. A Facebook pixel is essentially a tracking device that just shows exactly the actual, it doesn't really like show the user, but it will let you know that a Facebook user came into your website, and it will also store the data, giving Facebook an understanding that you can actually create what's called like a duplicate audience, meaning that, so let's say 200 people come through my website and the Facebook pixel recognizes these 200 people. I can take that audience and create a duplicate audience, and it will literally target people that have all of these data points that are, it's called a lookalike audience for a reason. It will target people that look a lot like the people that are already visiting your website. Another thing that I do is I'll upload my email list into Facebook, and I will create audiences based on that. So Facebook will pull the data of who is in your email list, and they will create duplicate audience or exact audiences, meaning you can target the people that are in your email list, or they'll create a duplicate audience, and depending on what your list looks like, they'll give you recommendations to like, is how big that is. A lot of times, there's a lot of times I've uploaded very niche audiences, and Facebook has came back to me and be like, "You want me to hit up like 1 million of these motherfuckers?" It's incredible. For a marketer, it's awesome. For an individual, it's a little bit creepy, but you do check that little box that, that shit we never read. It's like called mouse type or whatever. You check that little box and you wave your rights away to Facebook to track you and understand your habits and understand exactly what you do. So, as a business owner, if you're doing a transaction with somebody, you have to, at minimum, get their email. But I'm trying to get their email, trying to get their phone number, and trying to get their address. Like every piece of data that I can get from that client is going to be super important. And it can be used in so many different ways. Even our automotive repair facility, there was a year, I'll give you an example. There was a year that I had my charity, which is the Dents for Kids charity. And we were so busy with the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale that it literally came up, like literally when we ended the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale, which was on like a Tuesday. That following weekend was my Dents for Kids charity event, right? And I'm dead serious, guys. I did not send out one promotional of anything before that event. I'll give you kind of a few reasons why. Is because we started having people trying to get in early and people stopping by, people wanting to ask us questions about it. So we started doing our advertising for that charity event literally like the day before. And we ran a couple Facebook ads. We sent out a couple emails, all based off of my list, my client list. And we blew that bitch up for 2 days solid. I mean, it was just like that. It was like turning on a light switch. Anytime I added on an additional service, anytime that I decided to run a sale, anytime that I just sent out emails that were more along the lines of Seinfeld emails. You guys don't know what a Seinfeld email is. That's basically just a random email that doesn't have any specific direction, but it's just talking to your client and customer, building direction, adding some value. There's no sequence to it. So it's not like, next week emails are going to be about this. It's just a random, almost like a newsletter type package email. And just on the Seinfeld emails that we would send out, we would get people booking or remembering that they had something that they wanted to bring to our attention and emailing us. And it's just by clicking that little button, you start to create action in your company that wasn't there. So look, all of you business owners out there need to understand one thing. Like literally, I even had a friend of mine. In fact, Ryan Stewman tells a story about when he got a divorce back in the day that I don't even know how long ago it was. It was probably back in the day. It was probably at least 10 years ago or maybe longer. I don't know. I might have butchered that. But so when we got a divorce, they literally tried to evaluate the value of his company. And because he didn't have a client database, all the attorneys determined the value was like zero, which wasn't good for his ex-wife, right? But it actually made him realize that, man, like if I'm not creating a list, if I'm not building, a customer base, then I'm not even building a business. You guys got to understand that, y'all. So, and I don't give a shit, man. If you don't have a CRM, you can do MailChimp. I got plenty of my clients that do it off mail. I use MailChimp for years. There's quite a few different CRM systems. I mean, higher level, there's plenty of them. Something Hub, what is that? HubSpot, Salesforce. Some of them are really fucking complicated, which I don't like. But that being said, guys, make sure that as you are building your business, that you are building a solid list. Quick story here before I leave, though. Before I leave you with that thought. Even my, actually, more importantly, my friend Waspy, some of you guys might know from the Tactical Mentor podcast. He is a master at segmenting lists, and he owns a concert venue where literally people get pissed off if you send something to the wrong email list, because he's got rappers that come there and he's got country music musicians that play there, and he's got heavy metal bands that play there. So he's got all of his lists segmented into these categories. So literally when a country music singer comes to town, he knows the people who not only are on that list, that general list, but he also has a list of the people that previously had bought tickets to it. So, if that country musician came, the year before, a couple years before, he will have a list of the people that actually purchased tickets. You can imagine how powerful that is over time. of having all of them segmented lists, especially if you are in a business such as that, like where literally if you email a bunch of, people who I guess are dedicated to rap, if you email them that some country musician is coming into town, you probably get a bunch of fuck you emails back, a bunch of unsubscribed shit like that. So there is that, there's definitely that element when you want to segment and utilize your list in that way. So anyhow, guys, I just wanted to give you a quick reminder that if you're not building a list, you're not building a business. So get out there, stay fucking savage, and write me a fucking review. See you on the next one.